Brake light warning signal. The Suzuki Celerio brake warning light should come on briefly when the ignition is switched to on, and shortly go out. The brake lights come on when, the parking brake has been applied. Brake fluid levels are too low. Fault with brake system. What to do when the brake lights remain on? If the brake warning light remains on, do the following. 1. Ensure the parking brake is properly released. 2. If it is, stop as soon as possible and check brake fluid levels. Add brake fluid if necessary. 3. If brake fluid levels are sufficient and the parking brake is properly released, there is a brake system fault. On a quiet road, test the brakes by carefully stopping and starting. If the brakes appear safe, drive immediately to your nearest Suzuki workshop. ABS and brake warning light. If the ABS and brake warning light come on together, it indicates a fault with the rear brake force control of the ABS system has failed. Immediately contact a Suzuki workshop. ABS warning signal. The Suzuki Celerio ABS warning light comes on briefly as the ignition is switched to on, and goes out shortly after. If the warning light stays on, or comes on when you're driving, there's a fault with the ABS system. The Suzuki Celerio ABS, anti-lock braking system, is a safety system that prevents wheels from locking whilst under emergency braking. What to do? 1. Carefully pull off the road. 2. Turn off the engine and switch the ignition to the lock position and restart the engine. If the ABS warning light stays on, have it checked by a Suzuki workshop as soon as possible. ABS is a separate system to normal brakes, and the failure of ABS does not affect normal braking. There is, however, an increased risk of locking wheels when braking. Malfunction indicator light, MIL, or check engine light warning signal. The Suzuki Celerio malfunction indicator light, or check engine light comes on as part of the computer-controlled emissions system, and indicates that this system requires servicing. This malfunction light comes on for two possible reasons. 1. A fault has been detected with the emissions control system. 2. A fault has been detected with the continuously variable transaxle system, or the auto gear shift system. What to do when malfunction indicator light appears continuously? A good Suzuki workshop is required to diagnose and read fault codes to establish where the fault is. If the malfunction warning light begins flashing, have your vehicle checked quickly as there is potential for damage. The oil light. The oil light comes on when the ignition is switched on, but should go out shortly. The Suzuki Celerio red oil warning light is an indication of two issues. 1. Low engine oil level. 2. Low engine oil pressure. What to do when the oil light glows? 1. Pull the vehicle off the road and turn off the engine. 2. Using the dipstick, check engine oil level, and add oil if required. 3. If oil levels are normal and the oil light remains on, this indicates low oil pressure. In such a situation, do not continue to drive. Severe engine damage may likely occur due to the engine lubrication system failing. Contact a Suzuki workshop and arrange for vehicle recovery. Battery warning light. The Suzuki Celerio battery warning light comes on with the ignition switched to on, but should go out shortly after. If the light stays on or comes on when driving, there is a battery charging system fault. What to do when the battery warning light comes on while driving? 1. There may be limited time before the engine stalls. 2. To prolong engine activity, immediately switch off any non-essential vehicle systems that use electric. 3. Then immediately make your way to a vehicle repair station. Key warning light. The Suzuki Celerio key warning light is the immobilizer active symbol. If this warning light flashes when the ignition is set to on, you may not be able to start the engine. In this situation, 1. Turn the ignition to the lock position and then back to the on position. 2. If the key symbol continues to flash, there may be a fault with the key or the immobilizer system. 3. Ensure you do not have any metal objects near the key when attempting to start the engine. 4. Any other immobilizer keys that are in close proximity may interfere with starting the engine. 4. The battery may require replacing. Change battery or try the spare key. Airbag warning light. The Suzuki Celerio airbag warning light should come on, or flash for several seconds when the ignition is set on. This is normal and indicates the system is working correctly. If there is a malfunction in the airbag or in the seat belt pretensioner system, the light will not come on at all, stays on for 10 seconds or more, or comes on when driving. In such an driver seat belt reminder lights. The driver seat belt reminder lights up or an alarm may also sound for 95 seconds, depending on the model of Suzuki Celerio. After the alarm has finished, the warning light will illuminate constantly. Always fasten the seat belt. 9. Passenger seat belt reminder lights. The passenger seat belt warning light illuminates or flashes when a passenger is present in the front passenger seat, and the seat belt is not fastened. The light flashes and an audible alarm sounds, and this same as the driver seat belt warning. Fasten the seat belt. 10. Open door warning lights. The door open warning light illuminates in red and remains on until all doors are securely shut, including the boot and tailgate. If the vehicle begins moving, an alarm will ding. 11. Electronic Stability Program or ESP. This a combination of driving aid that help to keep the vehicle stable when instability has been detected. The Suzuki Celerio ESP warning light comes on for the following reasons. 1. ESP system has been activated due to the vehicle being driven to its limits. 2. A fault has been detected. What should be done in such a situation? A. The ESP light flashes very quickly, 5 times per second, indicating that the system is actively attempting to stabilize the vehicle. If this happens, slow down. B. The ESP light is constantly on. This indicates ESP failure, but does not include ABS. Have the ESP system serviced by Suzuki Workshop. 12. Engine A stop light, or engine auto stop light. This light illuminates on the dashboard when the engine has been stopped by the engine auto stop system. If the Suzuki Celerio engine start stop system won't work, here are the possible reasons. 1. The engine auto stop button has been pressed to deactivate the system. 2. The engine auto stop off flashes. This is a fault. 3. Engine coolant is either too low or too high. 4. The vehicle battery power is too low. 5. The vehicle battery temperature is too low or too high. 6. Brake booster vacuum is too low. 7. The accelerator pedal is pressed. 8. The system may not work during or just after the ABS or ESP systems have been activated. 9. After engine A stop has restarted the engine, but the vehicle has not exceeded 6 km per hour. 10. The engine has started with the hood or bonnet open. 11. When the vehicle has stopped after reversing. 13. The Suzuki Celerio engine A stop off warning light indicates that the system has been manually deactivated. The engine A stop off warning light flashes, indicating a fault with the system. Have vehicle checked by a Suzuki Workshop. 14. Rear fog light signal. This is the rear fog lights symbol. When the rear fog lights are switched on, this symbol illuminates on the dashboard. 15. The full beam headlights symbol. When the full beam headlights are switched on, this blue symbol illuminates on the dashboard. 16. The theft deterrent warning light located in the Suzuki Celerio dashboard flashes, indicating to thieves that the car has a security system. Important. If the theft deterrent warning light flashes for 15 seconds, when the ignition switch is set to on, there is a problem with the electrical control system. 17. This is the Suzuki Celerio engine coolant light, and it illuminates in blue or red. Blue indicates the engine is cold and goes out when the engine is at optimal running temperature. Flashing red indicates that the engine is running too hot. Stable red indicates the engine is overheating. What to do when the engine coolant light illuminates? When flashing red appears, reduce engine load and slow down. Keep engine speed as low as possible until the light goes out. Switch off the air conditioner. Pull over as quickly but as safely as possible and keep the engine running at idle until the warning light goes out. Stable red indicates an overheating engine and requires immediate attention as damage may occur. Turn off the engine and allow several minutes for it to cool. Check engine coolant in the reservoir tank. If it is low or below the minimum marker, add coolant. Check water pump pulleys and belt are not broken or slipping. Check for leaking water under the engine. 18. Depressed brake pedal indicator light. The depressed brake pedal indicator light comes on if you do not press the brake pedal under the following conditions. 1. When starting the engine. 2. When the engine is on, and the gearshift lever is shifted from N position to D position, M position, or R position. 3. When the ignition is switched to on, and the engine is off and the gearshift lever is moved to any position. 19. The steering wheel and exclamation mark. is the Suzuki Celerio power steering warning light. The warning light can illuminate either as a permanent fault or temporary fault. Permanent fault. If the warning light comes on during normal driving and stays on, a fault has been detected. The steering wheel may feel much heavier and harder to steer at slow speeds. Have the system serviced by a Suzuki workshop when possible. Temporary fault. The light turns on if you have been steering the vehicle from left to right lock continuously and quickly, or kept the steering on full lock for an extended period of time. This may cause the power steering motor to overheat, and the system temporarily shuts down to prevent damage. The power steering system will be restored when the motor cools. Trip meter selector knob. This knob allows you to change from trip meter A, trip meter B, odometer, instantaneous fuel consumption, average fuel consumption, or average fuel consumption range. 21. Tire pressure warning light will either illuminate as stable or flash. Stable light for tire pressure warning warns the driver that one or more vehicle tires has lost pressure. The system does not work at speeds under 35 km per hour. If this light comes on, stop safely as soon as you can and check vehicle tires. Inflate or replace with the spare tire if necessary. The tire pressure inflation label inside the driver's door provides the pressures to use. After the tire pressures are adjusted, the tire pressure monitoring system must be reset. To reset the tire pressure monitoring system, 1. Switch the ignition on. 2. Press the TPMS reset switch for 3 seconds or more. Look for the button with the warning light symbol on it. 3. Release the button once it starts flashing. 4. The warning light will go out when the reset procedure is complete. The tire pressure warning light keeps flashing when a fault has been detected with the tire pressure monitoring system. The warning light will flash for around 75 seconds and then remain continuously on. In this situation, approach service center. 22. The carbon exclamation mark is the Suzuki Celerio transaxle warning light. The warning light may illuminate in two forms: stable or flash. Stable light. A fault has been detected with the continuous variable transmission, CVT, or the auto gear shift system. Have the vehicle checked as soon as possible. Flashing light. The light will begin to flash if the auto gear shift system temperature becomes too high. As soon as possible, pull over, stop the vehicle and allow the system to cool. 23. When the left or right turn signal has been applied, the corresponding green arrow on the dashboard panel will flash along with the respective turn signal light. When the hazard warning lights have been switched on, both arrows flash along with all turn signal lights. 24. When this warning light comes on, refuel as soon as possible. Running out of fuel can potentially damage the engine. 25. This knob can be turned to increase or decrease the brightness of the dashboard instrument control panel.